Okay, we are live streaming. Can I have everyone on the Reyes file identify themselves for the record, please?
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Rebecca McCluskey for Stephanie Reyes.
Stephanie Reyes, Brooklyn Aaron and Jaden's mom.
Mike Kelly, guardian ad litem.
And then Danielle Lagore, I'm the foster care case manager with Family Service and Children's Aid.
Okay, we've received our dispositional recommendations. Mr. Kelly, do you find them to be suitable?
Your Honor, I did not receive a report. I'm assuming that the recommendations would be similar to what she had been participating for the past couple of years. If they are different, if I could be advised of what those are.
They are similar, and I can email you a report right now, Mike Kelly.
While she's doing that, Your Honor, I'd indicate to the court I'd spoken with placement as it relates to Jaden. It sounds like she's doing really well. She's eating very well, sleeping pretty good, almost 4 hours at a time. Placement indicates she's unaware of how visits are going, as she simply drops the child off, and the caseworker has not brought up any concerns to her after the visits. I will indicate to the court that placement indicates that mom did not make the visit on the 24th of November and again on the 25th. Otherwise, I have nothing further to report. Thank you.
Ms. McCluskey, do you have any objection to the recommendations?
I also did not see the court report. If Ms. Lagore would indicate what the recommendations are, I'm sure they're similar, but I would like to weigh in on at least one of them.
Would you like me to read them?
Please do.
Okay. We would recommend that Jaden remain in out-of-home placement, that Ms. Reyes obtain and maintain appropriate housing, Ms. Reyes to participate in all recommended random drug screens through AverHealth, Ms. Reyes to provide verification of legal and maintained source of income, Ms. Reyes to follow the recommendations of her completed psychological evaluation with Dr. Lauder, Ms. Reyes to participate in an updated substance use assessment and follow all resulting treatment recommendations, Ms. Reyes to sign authorizations for all service providers to release information to the agency, all maternal visits to be supervised by the agency, and then lastly, that Ms. Reyes remain in consistent, respectful communication and to inform the agency of any changes in address or contact information.
So are there any objection to any of the recommendations?
Your Honor, I guess I would ask why the substance abuse assessment. I wanted to address the random screens. Obviously, she did complete a substance abuse assessment during the pendency of this case. She's never had any issues with any illegal substances. That she does obviously test positive for THC consistently, but the agency knows she uses THC, I believe, for anxiety, and obviously it's legal. The actual screens are getting very difficult for her as it pertains to transportation. She only gets 10 bus passes a month, so getting to all of these services in addition to all of the random drug screens is very difficult, especially for a parent who there's never been an allegation that she had any sort of issue with substances aside from THC that she uses responsibly, quite frankly. So I guess I would like to hear the agency's argument as to why we're doing another substance abuse assessment and why we should maintain those drug screens.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My concern is primarily her coping skills. The fact that we are still seeing non-compliance with the screens after 2 years is why I'm recommending that we continue them. She has, in my observation, come to visit under the influence. And I just think it's worth keeping an eye on.
Well, as for
I've never come to visit under the influence.
I've got it, Miss Stephanie, I got it. I know she signed some sort of safety plan or some sort of document stating that she would not participate in parenting time under the influence, and she's adamant that she does not do so. If the agency suspected she was under the influence, they should have given her a drug screen at that time, and that apparently has never happened. So just saying you suspect she's under the influence is not really, seems a little disingenuous if there was no drug screen done at that time. Additionally, the coping skills, if there's a concern with coping skills, that should be addressed with counseling, which she does want. She's very, very on board with engaging with a therapist, and I want to make sure that we get her one that's appropriate for her. But again, if she's having transportation issues, if there's some other allegation that she's missed, and I don't know that there's been a lot of missed screens. That's never been a huge issue during this case.
So in this reporting period, she's no-showed to 9 out of 13.
Okay.
And Jaden was also born exposed to THC.
The reporting period was 3 months ago while I was still residing in Ohio as well.
So Ms. Legore, throughout this case, has she ever tested positive for anything other than THC?
No, she has not.
And over the course of time that she's been testing, do you have readily available the number of times that she has actually tested as opposed to just not shown up?
I can reference my
Tony
petition.
Dent.
That wouldn't include the last couple weeks of screens.
Your Honor, I have proof of the screens that I have done. Tony Dent, that works for Family Service and Children's Aid, has actually gone, it was about 2 months ago. She had printed out every single date of every drug screen that I had done, because I was originally told it was going to go down to 2 drug screens a month, and then it went up to 6 drug screens a month. So I do have those.
Are you
I would just
using,
need a few more.
ma'am, are you using anything other than THC?
No, Your Honor. I've never tried any other substance. I've never been interested.
All right, unless there's some additional indication that she's using anything other than THC, I'm not going to require a new drug assessment, and I'm not going to require random testing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other objections to the recommendations as I've just amended them?
No objections from us. And we would just ask that parenting time be as liberal as placement can allow. I know it's really in their discretion, but given the age of the baby, we would just make that request. Thank you.
I think that's appropriate. Shannon, can you give us a review hearing date, please?
I can, but I have a quick question, Judge. So Ms. Reyes no longer has to participate in an updated substance abuse assessment, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And no more random screens.
And no more random. Yep, I got that. Okay, Judge, our next date is March 2nd at 8:45.
Anything
Thank
further
you.
on this file? You're welcome, ma'am.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
We did adjourn the hearing on the two other children. That'll be scheduled in 2 weeks.
December
Thank you.
22nd at 10:30.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That concludes this hearing, and I'm going to stop the live stream.